Hello, good morning. Oh, it's so hot out here, and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. Never mind. Welcome to the Philippines. You know, there's a lot of talk about YouTube at the moment. You might be listening to it, and many of you might be doing videos about it, but is YouTube really listening to you, the user, the supplier of the product that brings the advertisers to their channels, platform? I don't think so. I think that the guys up in their big ivory towers are counting all their money for their shareholders, their investors, their stock rises every day. Do they really care about you? Of course they don't. You know, Philippines is a good example, certainly here, how so many people rely, Filipino and Filipina rely on the income generated by YouTube. They do their continuous videos. How long do foreigners like their women? How tall? Are they sexy in bed? Are they looking for foreigners? They all interview each other. Now, I would have thought that that's repetitive video channel. Why are they not being pulled down? Or maybe they are. The point is that some of the channels that have been around for maybe 6 or 10 years even are being demonetized on a daily basis. Why? Because the powers that be think the answer is AI. They even promote their own AI. YouTube has its own AI. And yet, if you use AI to try and draw people into your channel, you follow all of their ideas, and you even use AI to do that, what happens? Demonetized without any mention, no reason, just a vague community standards or something like that. And then you have a right of review or appeal. You can't speak to a real person. You've got to fill in miles of forms which don't really relate to the answer and question involved. It's just such a bloody mess. YouTube grew in popularity because of us putting videos up. And now what are they doing? They're punching you in the face and telling you to fuck off. That's what they're doing. You know, I'm not monetized on this channel simply because it's so difficult, so ridiculous. You know, I mean, buy me a coffee. So simple. Bank account, details, email. So simple. So why is it that AdSense make you go through so many hoops? Why? Because they don't want you to make money. They don't want to. They want to grab every penny they can. They don't care about a couple of million people no longer doing YouTube. Yeah, we'll get some more. But the new generation will join. And then what happens is you get TikTok. And then you find Meta, YouTube, Google really investing in TikTok. So they're all interconnected. It's a monopoly. It's to draw your effort, your creativity, your ideas, and for them just to rake the money in, no regard to the customer, no regard whatsoever. You know, when you advertise, you will notice that when you put a video up, it often says, promote this video. Okay, so what do? It asks you, how much budget do you want to spend? Well, 1 week, 1 day, 1,000 pesos, 1,000 views. So they can tell you how many views they're going to bring to your channel by you promoting it. Now, you ask yourself, are they really, or are they just maybe sending a few recommendations, notifications to people? while they take your money to promote your channel. It's absolute load of rubbish. YouTube don't care about you any more than they care about maybe somebody in their own family. As long as they're getting their money, they don't care. And what will happen? People will go to Rumble, people will go to X, people will go to Twitter, people will go anywhere but YouTube. Somebody has to make YouTube accountable. We put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of thought into doing our videos. They might not agree with them, but they themselves are not the judge of what is good and what is popular. They control it through their algorithm. You know, how many times have you subscribed to channels and then found out, why haven't I heard about that channel for a long time? Why? Because YouTube somehow have managed to delete your notification pressing the bell. Doesn't exist anymore. You're no longer subscribed. Why? Why do they always play games with your channel? And others too. You hear it every day. YouTube has lost its shine. And I feel sorry for those that are struggling to make a daily living on $5 or $10 a day. Here in poorer parts of the world, where YouTube really doesn't give a shit about channels who are only generating 500 views a day, nothing. Somebody who does 50 views a day, nothing. So what do? You put it on, where do you put it on? Facebook. And why? Because it means more people might watch you. You won't make any money. They want you to put your videos up so they can attract advertisers to make them money. In the end, you do all the work, they're raking the profit. They probably pay very little, if none, in terms of tax, but you will have it deducted at probably 30% of everything you receive. Even the super chats, they take the money out of it. You know, greed is a terrible thing. The American dream is not about greed. It shouldn't be. And you get people saying, oh, you know, you're using an American system and you're complaining about America. What have you got to do? Why are you complaining about America? You don't have the right. Really? You know, YouTube is here. I didn't ask for it to be here. It's here. Alibaba is here. Zalora is here. Lazada is here. All of these things spread like tentacles around the world, trying to screw money out of everybody. Fair enough, business. But don't tread on the people that provide you with your core support. You wonder why, when I put my video on TikTok, and I get 1,000 views in one day. I do it on YouTube, I might get 200. Why? Why is that? Same video, different platform. Greed. I don't make anything on either of the channels, but it is still greed. Greed that needs to stop. They should have a point of a real person you can talk to. There should be a place when there's a problem that you can sort it out. That's called customer service. Where are the legislators in this country? Every country we live in. Why are they not insisting there is not a means of dispute that can be done face to face or on a telephone to somebody? Why? Because they don't want to pay any money. They don't care about you. So guys, I feel sorry for you. The number of channels that have been pulled down, mysteriously disappeared. Why? Because a computer has decided it's not worth being there anymore, or it's somehow violated, a word has violated the thing. You get people where they write the way P and it ends with E, and they've got ... X. Everyone knows what they're talking about. Why do they have to do that? Because it triggers a strike against them by using their word. That's crazy. Free speech doesn't exist in this world anymore. You're just lucky you can hear this. I wonder if they'll take this one down. Bye now.